In 3, 2, 1.
Hey, you guys!
When glass gets above 600 degrees, it is retaining all of that heat. It is not refracting light properly. So it is not showing its true color at all right now. We've kind of created an elongated airway. So when we give air into our pipe, that's going to allow us to get the ridges in our pumpkin. And keep in mind, our piece of glass here is still in the neighborhood of around 15 to 1600 degrees. Glass will begin to start setting up as a solid around 1250 degrees. And this is how we know we're above that mark. Because watch, if I stop turning our pipe, do you see our pumpkin trying to run towards the floor? So that is a good example, and it's above 1250. So I'm using the pin shape of our tools to focus on this one spot on our glass. So now we are creating a stress point or a cold spot within this piece of glass. So what's going to happen is we're going to tap our pipe. Vibrations are going to travel down the pipe, find that cold spot that we just created. That is how we remove our pumpkin from our pipe. Now keep in mind, that piece of glass right now is just as solid as it's ever going to be, but it's still around roughly 1000 degrees right now. When glass gets above 600 degrees, it is retaining all of that heat. It is not refracting the light properly, and I'm going to hold this pumpkin up beside that one here in a moment. And I think if you're being honest, you'll tell me that they look nothing alike in color. I promise you, they are the exact same color. But as I said, this one is still so hot, it is not showing its true color because it's well above 600 degrees. So, flip this over here. We could use this as it is, and it would be one of our $20 regular pumpkins, or we could drill a hole in the top of it and stuff some lights into it and turn that into one of our lighted pumpkins. But do those look anything alike in color? I promise you they are the exact same color on the top and the bottom. So all day today with my ornaments and our pumpkins and tumblers, we're going to bring all those things to 910 degrees inside of that kiln. So now the inside and the outside is bonding at the same temperature. Tomorrow morning around 5:30 in the morning, we'll have a pumpkin like such. Or I could drill a hole in the top of it and stuff some lights into it like we do with our lighted ornaments, and it'll give us one of our lighted pumpkins. So our regular pumpkins are 20, the lighted ones are 30. Those ornaments, the lighted versions are 20, but you know, as I mentioned, we've been blessed to have our own little place here, but we've also been blessed, you know, to supply other gift shops and state parks, you know, throughout the country. We want things that's quality but affordable, and that is because the tank never shuts off, as we've been talking, and so when the gas bill comes, we have to pay for it. So we can't be spending more money than we're making, you know, and what I mean by that is if everything out there was $100 or above, we may intimidate people from even looking, you know, so I think there's going to be more folks with an extra 5, 10, 20, maybe $50, $100 to spend all day, every day, then there will be someone walking in here looking to spend $8 grand on one item, you know. And yes, we have been blessed to do some high-priced things, you know, but those are not everyday sales, you know. This is kind of what I'm going to be making a couple of these. So if you would like to watch, we're going to make one of these, and hopefully I can kind of give you an idea of the two ways you can make glass. So for the sake of anyone that's on a short time schedule, let me show you really quick how we make that ornament once again. And as I say, you know, what's inside of our tank, guys, from where you can see to about 3 inches to the bottom of our tank is an entire tank full of crystal clear molten glass. And remember, it looks yellowish orange because when glass gets above 600 degrees, it's holding all that heat. You know, it's not showing its true color. And now we're going to have a blue and a gold piece of glass. So if you're from my state, we'll kind of recognize that as Mountaineer blue and gold or blue and yellow. So by adding cadmium sulfide to our batch, that has given us our shade of yellow that we're about to see here in a moment. And cobalt oxide has given us our shade of blue. So now that we're melting these things together, the color is now going to override that clear. And that is how we're going to end up with a multicolored piece of glass. So I'm going to chill it down here a little bit in our brass block. And we're going to give this a little bit of air. We're going to start to cut in just in front of our pipe head. This piece of glass, once again, is still in the neighborhood of around 15 to 1600 degrees right now. And as we talked earlier, I don't know about you guys, but to me, this does not look blue and yellow at all right now, does it? And I hate to keep bringing it up, but you know, it's something that can be easily forgotten. You know, this is not showing its true color because it's still well above 600 degrees. And what I'm doing is I'm using the thin shape of our tools to concentrate right here on this one spot or one area. So now we've kind of created a stress point for a cold spot within that piece of glass. So when we tap our pipe, those vibrations are going to travel down and find that cold spot. That is how we remove our piece of glass from the pipe. Now, once again, it's just as solid as it's ever going to be, but it's still around roughly 1,000 degrees. So we're going to make us a little hook here. And on this particular version, this is one of our cameo colors that we work with. And as I say, we've been blessed to currently have 34 of our West Virginia state parks that we are supplying glass to currently. And we go through a good bit of these in-house and also shipping out to those places, because this is something we will cut the outline of the state of West Virginia into it tomorrow. And then when we drill a hole in it, when you turn on that light, the state of West Virginia shines through and it's blue and gold. But keep in mind, it's still so hot, you know, it's not showing its true color. Okay, so as I say, hopefully that'll be better. Purpose, find out what a 12-year-old is doing maybe in certain parts of the world. I think it would really surprise you to realize how blessed you are to get to wake up where you do, you know. And I'm not trying to be funny, you know, because there's all kinds of things out there that can frustrate us, right? But we should be counting our blessings more than our troubles, right? So I want to show you guys, I know that's a long